who you associate with will 1000% either make or break your life. I will tell you this, that I have seen wonders associating with people who are going in the same direction, who are achieving more than I am, who are more wealthy than I am, more successful than I am. I cannot tell you what it's done for my business. About 6.5 years ago now, I was in a very successful career and making a lot of money and doing good, but I was quite frankly pretty darn miserable. I was working like crazy. I wasn't present in my marriage or with my children, and I just felt like there was more that I wanted to do. So I wanted to leave my very successful real estate career, where I was making around $1.8 million a year in gross commissions, and I wanted to leave to become a coach. And people looked at me like I was crazy. They were like, Krista, people that are your age, 47 years old, do not leave their successful career and go into real estate. Nobody is going to pay you to coach them. Now, here's the deal. These are people that love me. It was like my mom and dad, who are my very best friends and who are my biggest supporters and encouragers in life. They were like, not smart. And then it was my husband, who also is my best friend and my encourager and supporter. He's like, Krista, baby, I think you should rethink that. I'm so glad I didn't listen to them. So I remember being really scared and thinking, how am I going to figure this out? I don't know how to be a coach. I don't know how to get my name out there. Nobody knows who I am. So what I did was I joined a mastermind group. And I will tell you, I remember walking into that room, and I was the smallest person in the room and one of the least successful people. I probably was the most least successful person in the room because I was just starting. And I was in front of these amazing entrepreneurs. And I remember being petrified. And so, that's when you're in a group like that and you're like the smallest one, you start feeling inadequate and you wonder why you're there. And like, I just remember thinking, I don't belong in this room. And I almost got up and walked out. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because being in that room and seeing other people succeed, seeing other people on the same journey but different, like they weren't on my exact journey, but they were people that had great businesses or who had amazing, successful coaching programs. And I was able to learn from them. In a mastermind, in a group like this, the whole idea and the goal is that you share what's working, you tell your experiences, you say things that have been great or things that have been bad, you talk about your mistakes. And you also talk about life, like, as a mom, how your business is affected, as a parent, as a spouse, how your business is affected. You talk about normal things like how it feels to fail and struggles that you have in every aspect of your life, and you're open and honest about it. And being in a mastermind, being around other people that are doing what you're doing and seeing their success. Like, I have learned to try to train my brain, especially being in that mastermind, to think when I see somebody else doing it, I say to myself, if they can do it, I can do it. And that is the power of a mastermind. It's, Napoleon Hill, he wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. He talks about a mastermind as two minds become three. There's like an invisible force that is there. And this invisible force can become this extra person times 10. So imagine being in a mastermind with people that are doing things that you've never done before, and they can share the experience of their failures and their success. It is mind-blowing. So a biblical verse my parents would say growing up is, bad association spoils useful habits. I can hear it every time I walked out the door. And I was like I got so over it, right? But I will tell you, it's so true. Bad association does spoil useful habits. But I think what's even more important to understand is that good, positive association enhances, good habits, right? I mean, think about it. Let's kind of relate this to something similar but different. When I have been on my health journey, and by the way, today's been over it's around 120 days and being amazing. I knew that in order for me to stick to my health journey and not be, tempted to want to down a box of donuts or a gallon of ice cream, that I had to not buy that stuff. So I had to change my environment, right? I had to change my environment, change everything from, what I had in the house to going on walks at nights. It's the same thing as the environment of your friends, right? And by me not having the food in the house and taking it away and not purchasing those negative things, it made it so much easier for me to be able to do it and to be successful and to not have any, mistakes that I made during that journey. It's the same thing with who you are around. People are either going to understand you and get you or they're not. And for me, I kind of realized that I'm sort of weird, not a lot of people are as driven as I am. But the entrepreneurial friends that I'm around in my mastermind, they get me and they encourage me and they uplift me and they remind me that anything is possible. And it's just made so much appreciative and so grateful. You know, there's something called a quantum leap, right? A quantum leap is like something that happens immediately and very, very quickly. When you are around the right people, the right associations, you can take quantum leaps in your success. Having the support and the help and the accountability from other people that I'm surrounding myself with has absolutely 100% been one of the most impactful things in my life. So look around and ask yourself, like, who are you hanging out with? Are those people encouraging you? Are they motivating you? Are they inspiring you? Are they saying yes to you and telling you to go for it? Or are they like keeping you comfortable and keeping you safe and keeping you kind of stuck in doing what you're doing? Sometimes, it kind of stinks to hear this, but a lot of times people don't want you to be successful. Like by you being successful and by you kind of, doing well and taking risks, it makes them feel worse about themselves. And it's like the crabs, right? Crabs, they pull the other crabs out of the boiling pot to save themselves, and ultimately everybody dies. And so just be careful who you're surrounding yourself with, who you're associating with. And just remember, sometimes even people that love you, like your friends and your parents and your spouse, sometimes based upon things they've heard you say or past failures or even their own fear and their own nervousness, they will give you advice that is not usually the thing to do. So I remember hearing this from Dean Graziosi, and that was, the worst advice that you can get is bad advice. He says, never take advice from somebody who's not done the thing that you are trying to do. So surround yourself with people who are in the same path, going in the same direction, have the same goals, and even more so, if you're somebody who's, maybe you haven't gotten the success yet, maybe you've struggled and it's been hard for you, that's the best time ever to put yourself in front of people who have done the thing. So remember, good association enhances useful habits and bad association spoils useful habits. Cannot say how true that is. Been a game changer in my life, and I hope this was successful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and by chance, if you know anyone that you think might benefit from this video, feel free to share. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.